Leadership Development webinar on social media. I'm Holly Lynn McKinley-Schmidt, National Vice Chair of the Leadership Development Webinars. It's my pleasure to introduce your presenters tonight. First, Leanne Turbyfield, the National Chair for PR and Media Committee.
Thanks, Holly Lynn. I'm looking forward to a great learning opportunity tonight.
And we also have Susan Gillette-Meir, National Vice Chair of the Public Relations and Media Committee for Social Media.
Hi, Holly. I'm excited to be here too.
Great. Well, Susan, over to you.
All right, thanks. Well, hello, everyone, from the Public Relations and Media Committee. I'm Susan Gillette-Meir, National Vice Chair of this committee for social media. Through this webinar, members will learn about the types of social media and how they can use them to promote membership to the public. Social media is a free resource for chapters, so let's learn how to take advantage of these electronic town criers. Wow, one could get lost online with almost 15 categories of social media, such as blogs, forums, social gaming, social networking, and more. Within these categories are over 200 platforms, such as Facebook, YouTube, Flickr, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and many others. Which type of social media is best for your chapter? I want to briefly overview a few of the most popular platforms for chapters to use, and then focus on one. If your chapter would like to branch out and use one of the platforms not discussed in detail today, please feel free to contact me for any help you may need. All right, the big one to discuss is Facebook. Look at those statistics. Over 2.3 billion users, 76% are females, just what we like. And businesses use it to market, so why don't we? Can anyone say junior members with almost 30% of Facebook being ages 25 through 34? It is wonderful. How about Twitter? Tweets and retweets, what does it all mean? Well, 330 million people know, with a huge percent of Twitter users being young and female. Statistics show that female users are more active too. This platform offers posts with photos and text, similar to Facebook, but with the original hashtag to categorize posts, such as hashtag today's DAR. 1 billion users are on Instagram, with 39% being American women and a whopping 59% who are under the age of 30. This platform is very visual, with photos accompanying each post. If your chapter uses this, make sure you have a good photo editor. This platform seems to be overlooked by chapters, but I'd like to see its use increase. Most people watching this webinar have seen a video on YouTube. Well, why not set up your own chapter YouTube channel? If you have a Google account, you have a free YouTube channel. You can collect videos from online and place them in playlists. You don't have to create your own videos. My local CAR Society has a YouTube channel, and we have collected videos on all subjects. So perhaps someone looking for videos on, say, President James Monroe will see our channel and then take an interest in our society. Once the YouTube channel is set up, there is very little maintenance except to add new videos when you find them. Blogging is another platform that many individuals use. Most people trust blog information, although you should always be wary of unsourced info, and it can provide a lot of information at once, unlike Facebook and Twitter. Another platform is Pinterest. It provides a place to categorize and house photos and links to your favorite topics. You pin your interest to a virtual bulletin board. You could set up a chapter Pinterest account and create boards of all topics, such as the various committees we have. It requires an initial setup, but not excessive maintenance. It's very visual. There are so many other ways to get your chapter's name out there. Don't forget the obvious, emails to prospective members. Do you have your chapter's website or social media platforms at the bottom of each email signature? Well, you should. And sometimes we get creative with sharing DAR. Here's an idea I recently used. I use Ancestry.com to build my family tree. I have many proven DR patriots, so I created this graphic to post in the gallery for each of these patriots in my tree. I then shared this with many DR members on Facebook in less than 1 month ago, and some of them did the same for their patriot ancestors. Already, I've had 3 people contact me to tell me that someone saw this graphic in their own tree and contacted them about joining. It was suggested to also use this on findagrave.com. If you would like to have this graphic, please feel free to contact me. All right, so now that you know a little about the types of platforms available, where do you begin? Well, you must choose the type of social media that your chapter wants to use. Be sure that you get approval from your chapter before you begin this process. And for today, I'm going to focus on Facebook. But if your chapter would like to branch out and use one of the platforms not discussed in detail, please feel free to contact me for any help you may need. So, what's step 2 after you choose your platform? Well, you must choose your administrators. No one person can do this alone. In fact, it's in our NSDR online guidelines that a minimum of 2 daughters is required to maintain the site. These volunteers should be committed, since you must be prepared to check in weekly or more often to post and respond to messages. Admins, as they are called, must be creative, resourceful, reliable, and somewhat tech savvy. Do you have 2 daughters in your chapter that fit this mold? Okay, now you have your admins. So what's next? Well, let's go over the 6 topics that involve the creation of your page: settings, information on the page, profile, guidelines, approval process, and cultivating your following. I want to remind you that if at any time during the creation process you are having trouble setting up your page, please contact either your state VIS chair or one of 3 national vice chairs for VIS who specialize in social media development. Although I help with social media, I am the public relations side of it, helping you with content, not technology questions. So please make sure you contact your VIS committee for help. All right, let's do a quick explanation of a Facebook page versus a group. They're often confused. Pages are designed to be the official profile of your chapter. It is public. This is what we are discussing today. A group is a place for discussion and sharing of opinions. It is private, and it's not what we're covering today. Your chapter may have a private group, but that does not fall under the Public Relations and Media Committee of promoting to the public. All right, let's look at the settings for your page. Once you choose Create a Page, choose the Nonprofit Organization category. Make everything public so you can tell the world about how wonderful DAR is, but keep that in mind when posting. This is not your personal platform. Be sure to disable posts by other people so that the admins are the only ones posting, and set the profanity filter to strong to be sure all comments on your posts by the public are acceptable. However, with 2 admins checking in to monitor the comments, you shouldn't have a problem. Commenting can always be turned off for individual posts, and comments can be deleted if it becomes absolutely necessary. Make sure you have a copy of the NSDAR online guidelines for reference. You can get these on the members' website under both the Public Relations and Media Committee and the VIS Committee. According to NSDAR online guidelines, you must have certain things on your page to become approved. Name of chapter, of course, chartered city and state, and email contact. It's a great technique to also have a link to your chapter website and other social media accounts you may have, such as your Twitter username or your YouTube channel or whatever it may be. And remember, when designing your page, do not use the insignia anywhere. Use the DAR logo only. Make sure to complete the profile with your mission, contact information, about paragraph, and company overview. Tell your story. You can also set your username in the settings. For example, the Bucks County chapter in Pennsylvania has chosen BucksCo DAR, and their page is now searchable with that. Here's a screenshot of what you would see when you click About on the Bucks County chapter Facebook page. You can see they have included quite a bit of information about the DAR and how to contact them. They also follow the NSDAR online guidelines by putting the required disclaimer statement there. The company overview is straight from our national website. Once again, please download the NSDAR online guidelines before you begin, and then you will see the required disclaimer that you must put on your page. The NSDAR online guidelines request that all photos of members that were not taken at a public event, such as a parade, have permission to be used online through the Photo Video Release Form. This form can be found on the members' website under both the Public Relations and Media and VIS committees. Chapters often try to collect the form from all of their members. And some of the ways they've been suggested to me is to do this through email. Just email the form to all your members or distribute it to all the members with a dues statement. It can be collected electronically in the mail or at chapter meetings. And don't forget to collect it from your new applicants. When you think you are ready, you must get VIS approval for your page. This is true for any platform, Instagram, Pinterest, any of them. Start by contacting your state VIS chair. The process will also involve your state regent and the National VIS Committee. Once approved, be sure to put the link to your Facebook page on your website and in your email signatures. Congratulations, your page has been approved. So now what? Invite people to like your page. Here's how you do it. Go to the page and click Community in the left-hand column. In the right column, click Invite your friends to like whatever your page's name is. Enter a friend's name in the search box and then click Invite next to their name. So who do you invite? Invite your friends who may have an interest in your DAR chapter, all your chapter members, and any members in your state. It's important to have as many followers as possible. The more followers you have, the more your chapter name is seen. And that's what makes great public relations and increases membership. So, what's next? Well, it's time to create your posts. Think outside the box and get creative. Think about what DAR means to you and your members and use that as a starting point. Just remember, all of your posts must further the objectives of the DAR: historic preservation, patriotism, and education. The key part of each post includes having a photo. Oftentimes a link to a web page or a video is also given. Posts should showcase the DAR objectives while stimulating interest and while sometimes evoking emotion. If you're following the NSDR online guidelines, you'll be sure to avoid providing dates with times and locations of your events. No selling or politics, no internal business of your chapters, no minutes or directories. And make sure don't include national numbers or GRS information. A good rule to follow is not to use I, but to use we. When you write, you're representing all the members when you post. So creating the posts, I think we should look at a few examples. But before we do that, let's talk about the use of photos and videos. Your photos in the posts are ones that are action shots that tell a story and represent our mission of historical preservation, patriotism, and education. Don't include any photos of children since you would need a disclaimer from the parents to do so. Some admins prefer to create their own graphics to use. If you want to try this, you would need a graphic generator. It can be for your computer or sometimes an app on your phone. Here are the names of a few: Canva, Adobe Spark, PicMonkey, Ripple, Pixlr. I use Canva and I do it on my phone most often, but there are many more out there other than these. One chapter in Pennsylvania often posts their own graphics. Let's take a look at how they've used this. Here's the Bucks County chapter's post from New Year's Day of this year. They created this graphic specifically for this post. Notice how they tie together the popular idea of making New Year's resolutions with joining the DAR. They also provide contact information. It's very eye-catching, wouldn't you say? And you can tell that the picture was created by them. Here's one more that certainly is humorous. So they created the graphic for this post. I'll give you a moment to read it. Encouraging the reader to work on her genealogy and swab for DNA. I love it. And don't forget, only use images that are royalty-free and give credit to the photographer if you have permission to use the photo. There are many sites out there that have royalty-free photos. Let's take a look at some examples of photos used in a post. Here's one that surely evokes emotion: a mother and daughter who joined the DR together. And look at that love. This post is what I call a membership post, encouraging the reader to join this time with family. We have many mothers and daughters that join our chapter together. It's a fabulous way to spend time together. Some posts showcase the education pillar of our mission. Here you see the members of my chapter volunteering their time to wrap gifts for tips for the DR schools. The caption tells a little bit about the DR schools. How about this one? Does your chapter support historical preservation? Sure it does. So tell about it in a post. If you were a prospective member who loves family history, wouldn't this chapter show and tell activity appeal to you and create an interest in joining? So how does this post encourage membership? Hey, I want to join this chapter since their new members are recognized. It sounds inviting, doesn't it? There's no reason why you can't tell the public about your chapter accomplishments. If you recently collected books to send to one of the DR schools, you should post about it. Now notice this post also has a link to the Kate Duncan Smith DR school. It's a great idea to include a link in addition to a photo in your post. Now the past examples I just showed were all photos that were taken by our chapter members. They're actually my chapter that I'm showcasing here. Many prospective members enjoy American history. So why not post about it? This one describes some of the history in the chapter's town of Pittsburgh. This would be eye-catching to any history lover, let alone someone who lives in the area. Consider posting about the Revolutionary War as well as other time periods in our American history. How about a post that promotes the DR in general? Do you remember when we set the Guinness World Record for most letters to military personnel in 1 month as a national organization? The NSDR created a video about it, and my chapter posted about it with a link. Any prospective member with family in the military would find this aspect of DR extremely appealing. Many admins post about the DR committees. For example, American Indians. Provide a photo and a fact, like your American Indian Minute you might use at your meeting. Another example, DR Service for Veterans. You could provide a link to an article about how someone has honored veterans recently. Or you can provide a photo of your members cleaning veterans' graves if that's a project you recently did. You could use the list of committees on the member's website to get ideas. There are so many from which to choose. Now these were just a few ideas for posts, but there are some things to remember. Use hashtags when you post, if you can. These hashtags make these post topics searchable. If you don't know how hashtags work, just Google search images for hashtag today's DR, and you'll see many images of DR women in action. Be sure to alter your posts across your platforms if you use more than Facebook, keeping in mind your audience demographic. You can always invite other chapter members to send you content to post. And don't forget to cross-promote in your Facebook post, link to your website or your YouTube channel. Now here's a wonderful feature. When creativity strikes, you can create several posts and then schedule them to be released on certain days at specific times. You can ask the other administrator to check your posts for errors before they go out if they're scheduled. And my favorite part, you can create content for upcoming holidays. For example, post about the anniversary of the Battle of Yorktown. You can do that months in advance, but schedule it for the anniversary. So after getting the hang of posting, is there anything else? Well, here's some general tips for maintaining your site. Post content at least once a week and respond to all messages. Start with, thank you for contacting us. Many chapters set up an automatic reply to tell the person sending the message that someone will get back to them shortly, and then the message also directs them to the chapter website. Be sure to follow all NSDR online guidelines. Be sure not to post content that is private. No meeting dates, times, places for meetings. No child photos without written consent of the parent. And be sure to like and share your own posts, not as the chapter, but as yourself. Remind all members to like the page and each new post. Liking and sharing is the key to great PR on social media. If you see a post, then that is just one person. But if you see a post and like it or share it, it shows up in the news feed of all of your friends. Suddenly, we went from a reach of one person to perhaps 1,000. And if one of your friends would then like or share, it shows up in their news feed for their friends. I think of it like genealogy. You know, you have two parents, who each have two parents, who each have two parents. The possibilities are never ending. There are so many more things that could be shared about social media, so it is possible that members still have questions. Please don't hesitate to email me, Susan Gillette Meir, if you have any questions. My email is susangillettemeir@gmail.com. I am happy to help in any way that I can. Just remember, if it's a technology question, please contact the VIS committee. So how to promote your chapter through social media. A copy of this script is available, as well as a handout on how to promote your chapter through social media. They'll be available soon through the DAR Leadership Training Committee. Thank you very much for the opportunity to help our members shout, "Hear ye, hear ye," about the great things of DAR.
Thank you so much, Susan, for that great presentation. I know that'll help
pleasure.
many of our chapters.
My pleasure. I really hope that the chapters take time to think about this free access to public relations. It's really a great tool. Thanks again.
Sure. A note to all of our listeners, these webinars are all posted in the webinar archives to keep our webinar training available to as many members as possible. Once it's located in the archives, the link can be provided to members who have access to the members portion of the DAR website. This is a great way to introduce topics to all of your members, and we have many other topics in addition to the one we are just listening to right now. So we hope you enjoyed our webinar, and we hope that you share our webinars. Please send any questions and/or feedback to leadershiptraining@dar.org. And thank you so much for your time.